live? Maybe we are, maybe we're not, maybe we are, and maybe we're not, and maybe we are. Or insights. I'm good with insights. I'm good, YouTube. You don't gotta tell me about your insights, but I appreciate it. Alright. Hello everyone, my name is Edgar Garza, and today we are reading Troilus and Cressida. So I have never really heard of this one. The other one too, that was yeah, I've heard of it a little bit at least, but this one I have not at all. Okay. It helps if I know which version he wants me to read, right? Right. I think it's modern version. I'm pretty sure it's modern version. But you know what? I mean, I could always be wrong, and if that'd be not good, because I have to take a quiz on this tomorrow. Modern. Yeah, it is modern. It is modern. I know what I'm talking about. Of course I do. Anyone here yet? No? Okay. Cool. Great. Cool. So we need the modern version of this. Bum, bum, bum. So before we go and check anything, let's see. How many acts we got here? We have, oh geez, another long one. Oh, but I mean, yeah, no, it's long. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to try to bump it down. Okay, so we have a list of characters. Let's look at them. So, let's see. Helen Menelaus. Hello, person. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Menelaus' wife. We're reading Troilus and Cressida today, so it's for my quiz tomorrow that I have. Ha ha ha. I was supposed to get next week, and I was like, nope, it's this week actually. I didn't read the syllabus right. So Helen is Menelaus' wife. Menela. Google translate, please. Catch up with me, Google, please. Menelaus. I feel like it's just like vanilla, but it's Manila, like Menelaus. Google, please work. Okay. I want you to be able to type language. Menelaus. So Helen is Menelaus' wife, now living in Trojan Paris. The Trojan are as follows: Priam, king of Troy. Priam's sons: Hector, Priam's oldest son, major Trojan warrior. Paris, abductor of Helen. Ooh, jeez. Dephobus. It's tricky. So we have Menelaus, Dephobus. Diphobus. So Menelaus, almost like menace. Diphobus, a minor lord meant to swell a scene or two. Helenus, a warrior priest. Troilus, a lover of Cressida. Margarine. Try and get all these down before I start butchering them in the play. Margarine. Okay. Aeneas, Trojan warrior, Herald. Antenor, captured Trojan warrior, exchanged for Cressida. Trojan woman, Cassandra, Priam's daughter, opposed to war, damned by Apollo to clearly see the future, but whose forecasts are never to be believed. Oh, jeez. Andromache, Hector's wife. Cressida, Calchas' daughter. Beloved of Troilus, Pandora's niece. Huh. Calchas, a clairvoyant Trojan priest who has deserted the city and his daughter and now advises the Greeks. Pandarus, Cressida's uncle. Alexander, Cressida's servant, of Troy, Troilus' servant, Paris' servant, Trojan soldiers, retainers, attendants. Greeks, Agamemnon, general commander of the Greeks, king of Argos, Melanus, his brother, Melanus, king of Sparta, Helen's forsaken husband, Achilles, famous hero of Iliad, commander of Myrmidons, Patroclus, Achilles' eagle, a catamite. Ajax considers himself the eagle of Achilles. Ulysses, Machiavellian schemer, not big on hand or hand-to-hand combat. Nestor, an old and venerable advisor to the Greeks, Ulysses' sidekick. Diomed, a lecherous Greek warrior who called Diomedes. Thersites, a satirical rogue, a jester fool to both Achilles and Ajax, Greek soldiers, retainers, and attendants. So that's all we have for our characters. It's a lot of characters. Dang, okay. Alright, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name person who's watching. I apologize. I really don't know any of it. Okay. So we have prologue to begin. Enter speaker of the prologue in Arma. Let's do this. Okay. Speaker of the prologue speaks. In Troy there lies a scene from isles of Greece, the prince Argulus, their high blood shaft, half to port of Athens. Athens sent their ships fraught with ministers and instruments of cruel war. 69 that wore their coronets regal from the Athenian bay put forth toward Phrygia, and their vow was made to ransack Troy, within whose strong immures the ravished Helen, Melis' queen, with the wanton Paris sleeps, and that's the quarrel to Tenedos they come, and the deep drawing barks do their disgorge, their warlike fraughtage. Now on Dardan plains the fresh and yet unbruised Greeks do pitch their brave pavilions. Priam, six-gated city, Dardan and Tembria, Helias, Chetas, Troyan, and Antinondus, with massed staples and corresponsive and fulfilling bolts, stir up the sons of Troy. Now expectation, ticklish spirits, on one and other side the Trojan Greeks sets all on hazard, and hither am I come, a prologue armed, but not in confidence of author's pen or actor's voice, but suited in like conditions as argument, to tell you, fair beholders, that our play leaps over the vaunt of the firstlings of those boils, beginning in the middle, starting thence away, to what may be digested in a play, like or find fault. Do as your pleasures are. Now, good or bad, 'tis but the chance of war. Ooh, I like that. Like however way you put it, and they exit. However way you put it in your mind, whatever pleases you, fair audience, you shall take it as it is. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Pandarus and Troilus. Call here my valet. I'll unarm again. Why should I war without the walls of Troy, that find such cruel battle here within? Each Trojan that is master of his heart, let him feel to Troilus alas hath none. Pandarus. Will this gear never be mended? Troilus. The Greeks are strong and skilful to their strength, fierce to the skill and to the fierceness valiant, but I am weaker than a woman's tear. Tamer than sleep, fonder than ignorance, less valiant than the virgin in the night, and skilless in the unpractised infancy. Pandarus. Well, I have told you enough of this. For my part, I'll not meddle nor make no farther. He that will have a cake out of the wheat must needs tarry the grinding. Troilus. Have I not tarried? Pandarus. Aye, the grinding, but you must tarry the bolting. Troilus. Have I not tarried?
Pandarus, aye, the bolting, but you must tarry the leavening. Troilus, still have I tarried? Pandarus, aye, to the leavening, but here's yet in the word hereafter, the kneading, the making of the cake, the heating of the oven, and the baking. Nay, you must stay the cooling too, or you may chance to burn your lips. Troilus, patience herself with God as ever she be, doth less blench at sufferance than I do. At Priam's royal table do I sit, and when fair Cressida comes into my thoughts, so trayish she comes when she's thence. Pandarus, well, she looked yesternight fairer than I ever saw her look, or any woman else. Troilus, I was about to tell thee, when my heart as wedged as sigh would rive in twain, lest Hector or my father should perceive thee. I have, as when the sun doth light to scorn, buried the sigh in a wrinkle of a smile. But sorrow that is couched in seeming gladness is like the mirth fate turns into sadness, sudden sadness. Pandarus, and her hair were not somewhat darker than Helen's, well, though too. There were no comparison between the women. But for my part she is kinswoman. I would not, as they term it, praise her, but I would somebody had heard her talk yesterday, as I did. I will not dispraise your sister's Cassandra's wit, but, Troilus, oh Pandarus, I tell thee, Pandarus, when I do tell thee, there my hopes lie drowned. Reply not in half fathoms deep, they lie drenched. I tell thee, I am mad in Cressida's love. Thou answerest, she is fair. Force in the open also of my heart. Her eyes, her air, her cheek, her gait, her voice, handlest in thy discourse, oh, that her hand, in whose comparison all the whites are ink, writing their own reproach, to whose soft seizure the signet down is harsh, and spirit of sense, hard as the palm of plowwoman. This thou tellest me, as true thou tellest me when I say I love her. But saying thus, instead of oil and balm, thou layest in every gash that love hath given me in the knife that made it. Pandarus, I speak no more than truth. Troilus, thou dost not speak so much. Pandarus, faith, I'll not meddle in it. Let her be as she is. If she be fair, 'tis better for her, and she be not, she has amends in her own hands. Troilus, good Pandarus. How now, Pandarus? Pandarus, I have had my labour for my travel, ill thought of her, and ill thought on you, gone between and between, but small thanks for my labour. Troilus, what art thou angry, Pandarus? What, with me? Pandarus, because she's kin to me, therefore she's not fair as to Helen, and she were not kin to me, she would be as fair on a Friday as Helen is on Sunday. But what care I? I care not, and she were Blackmore. 'Tis all one to me. Troilus, say I see she's not fair. Say I see she is not fair. Pandarus, what is it? What do you mean? Oh, it's you. It's you making noise. Okay, there. Pandarus, I do not care whether you did not do or know. She is a fool to stay behind her father. Let her to the Greeks, so I'll tell her the next time I see her. For my part, I'll meddle no more, nor make no more matter. Troilus, Pandarus? Pandarus, not I. Troilus, sweet Pandarus. Pandarus, pray you speak no more to me. I will leave all as I found it, and there an end. Exit Pandarus. Sound alarm. Troilus, peace, your ungracious clamours, peace, rude sounds. Fools on both sides, Helen must needs be fair, when with your blood you daily paint her thus. I cannot fight upon this argument, it is too starved a subject for my sword. But Pandarus, O gods, how do you plague me? I cannot come to Cressida but by Pandar, and he's as touchy to be wooed to woo, as she is stubborn, chaste against all suit. Tell me, Apollo, for thy Daphne's love, what Cressida is, what Pandar is, and what we. Her bed is India, there she lies, a pearl between our loom, where she resides. Let it be called the wild wandering flood ourselves, the merchant and his sailing Pandar, our doubtful hope, our convoy, and our bark. Alarm. So alarm sounds again. Ah! Enter Aeneas. Aeneas. How now, Prince Troilus? Wherefore not afield? Troilus. Because not there. This woman's answer sorts for womanish it is to be from thence. What news, Aeneas? Aeneas? I need to check. Okay. Okay, I cannot. Okay, I need to check. I'm sorry, person. I was going on a good sprint. But so far we have alarms going off. We don't exactly know what the alarms are for, but they're bad, obviously. Aeneas. Okay, Aeneas. What news, Aeneas, from the field today? Aeneas. That Paris has returned home and hurt. Uh-oh. Troilus. By whom, Aeneas? Aeneas. Troilus by Menelaus. Troilus. Let Paris bleed, 'tis but a scar to scorn. Paris is scored with Menelaus' horn. Alarm! Again, the alarms! Aeneas. Hark, what good sport is out of town today? Troilus. Better at home, if would I might, were may. But to sport abroad, are you bound thither? Aeneas. In all swift haste. Troilus. Come, go we then together. Exeunt. Bum bum bum. So Paris has been hurt. Enter Cressida and her man, Alexander. Ooh, her man. Act 1, Scene 2, by the way. Cressida. Who were those who went by? Alexander. Queen Hecuba and Helen. Cressida. And whither go they? Alexander. Up to the Centaur, whose height commands all subjects of all the vale. To see the battle, Hector, whose patience is a virtue fixed, today was moved. He chides Andromache, and struck his armor, and like that, as there were husbandry in war. Before the sun rose, he was harnessed light, and to the field goes he, where every flower did as a prophet sweep. What I foresaw in Hector's wrath. Cressida. What was this cause of anger? Alexander. The noise goes to this. There is among the Greeks a lord of Trojan blood, nephew to Hector. They call him Ajax. Cressida. Good, and what of him? Alexander. They say he is a very man per se and stands alone. Cressida. So do all men, unless they are drunk, sick, or have no legs. Alexander. This man, lady, hath robbed many beasts of their particular additions. He is as valiant as a lion, churlish as a bear, slow as the elephant, a man into whom nature hath so crowded humours, that his valour is crushed into folly, his folly sauced with discretion. There is no man with hath a virtue that he hath not the glimpse of, nor any man attaint, but he carries some sand of it. He is melancholy without cause, and merry against the hair. He hath the joints of everything, but everything so out of joint, that he is gouty Barius, many hands and no use of purblind Argus, all eyes and no sight. Cressida. But how should this man make me smile, make Hector angry? Alexander. They say he yesterday coped Hector in the battle and struck him down, the disdain and shame whereof hath ever since kept Hector fasting and waking. Enter Pandarus. Cressida. Who comes here? Alexander. Madam, your uncle Pandarus. Cressida. Hector's a gallant man. Alexander. As he may be in the world, lady. Pandarus. What's that? Cressida. Good morrow, Uncle Pandarus. Pandarus. Good morrow, cousin Cressida. What do you talk of? Good morrow, Alexander. How do you, cousin? How do you, cousin? How do you do? How do you, cousin? How do you, cousin? When were you at Ilium? Cressida. This morning, uncle. Pandarus. What were you talking of when I came? Was Hector armed and gone ere came to Ilium? Helen was not up, was she? Cressida. Hector was gone, but Helen was not up. Pandarus. Even so. Hector was stirring early. Cressida. That's what we were talking of, and of his anger. Pandarus. Was he angry? Cressida. Motioning to Alexander. So he says. Pandarus. True, he was so. I know the cause too. He'll lay about him today, I can tell them that, and there's Troilus that will not come far behind. Let them take heed of Troilus. I can tell them that too. Cressida. What, is he angry too? Pandarus. Who, Troilus? Troilus is a better man of the two. Cressida. Oh, Jupiter, there's no comparison. Pandarus. What, not between Troilus and Hector? Do you know a man if you see him? Hey, Cressida, if I ever saw him before and knew him. Pandarus. Well, I say Troilus is Troilus. Cressida. Then you say as I say, for I am sure he is not Hector. Pandarus. No, nor Hector is not Troilus in some degrees. Cressida. to each of them, he is himself. Pandarus. Himself. Alas, poor Troilus, I would he were. Cressida. So he is. Pandarus. Condition I had gone barefoot to India. Cressida. He is not Hector. Pandarus. Himself? No, he is himself not, would a were himself. Well, the gods are above, time must friend or end. Well, Troilus, well, I will have my heart were in a body, no. Hector is not a better man than Troilus. Cressida. Excuse me. Pandarus. He is elder. Cressida. Pardon me. Pandarus. The others not come to it. You shall tell me another tale when the others come to it. Hector shall not have his will this year. Cressida. He shall not need it if he have his own. Pandarus. Nor his qualities. Cressida. No matter. Pandarus. Nor his beauty. Cressida. 'Twould not become him his own better. Pandarus. You have no judgment, niece. Helen herself swore the other day that Troilus for brown favour, for so it is, I must confess, not brown neither. Cressida. No, but brown. Pandarus. Faith, to say the truth, brown and not brown. Cressida. To say the truth, true and not true. Pandarus. She praised his complexion above Paris's. Cressida. Why, Paris hath colour enough. Pandarus. So he has. Cressida. Then Troilus should have too much if she praised him above. His complexion is higher than his, he having colour enough, and the other higher too. It is to flaming a praise for a good complexion. I had as life Helen's golden tongue, had commended Troilus for a copper nose. Pandarus. I swear to you, I think Helen loves him better than Paris. Cressida. Then she's a married Greek indeed. Pandarus. Nay, I am sure she does. She came to him the other day into the compass window, and, he has not passed 3 or 4 hairs on his chin. Cressida. Indeed, a tapester's arithmetic may soon bring his particulars therein to a total. Pandarus. Why, he is very young, and yet will he within 3 pounds lift as much as his brother Hector. Cressida. Is he so young a man and so old a lifter? Pandarus. But to prove to you that Helen loves him, she came and put me in her white hand to his cloven chin. Cressida. Juno have mercy. How came it cloven? Pandarus. Why, it's his dimpled. I think his smiling becomes him better than any man in all Phrygia. Cressida. Oh, he smiles valiantly. Pandarus. Does he not? Cressida. Oh, yes, and 'twere a cloud in autumn. Pandarus. Why, go to then. But to prove to you that Helen loves Troilus, Cressida. Troilus will stand to the proof, if you'll prove it so. Pandarus. Troilus. Why, he seems her no more than I esteem an idle egg. Cressida. If you love an idle egg as much as you love an idle hand, you would eat chickens with shell. Pandarus. I cannot choose but laugh to think how she tickled his chin. Indeed, she has a marvellous white hand, I must needs confess. Cressida. Without the rack? Pandarus. And she takes upon her to spy white hair on his chin. Cressida. Alas, poor chin, many a was his witcher. Oh, hello, other person. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. We're reading Troilus and Cressida today. So I don't know when you came in. I had my little thing blocking. But we're talking with Cressida at the moment. We just had Troilus in the previous passage where he is like, I don't know what to do. And, my love is here. And, they compare it to, the God's love and such. It's a bit confusing at points. I don't know. And then whatchamacallit? He has his own soliloquy to himself, and then all of a sudden you hear that his brother Paris, I think it's his brother, comes in and, he doesn't come in. He's been reported that he just came in back from, a battle, and he's been hurt. And it's like, oh, he's just been hurt, it's okay. It's not so bad, It's like, so we're on Act 2, Scene 2. We're talking with Cressida and Pandarus, so. And Pandarus was just speaking to Troilus recently, too. Pandarus, and she takes upon her to espy white hair on his chin. Cressida, alas, poor chin, many a ward is richer. Pandarus, but there was such laughing, Queen Hecuba laughed that her eyes ran over. Cressida, with milestones. Pandarus, and Cassandra laughed. Cressida, but there was more temperate fire under the pot of her eyes. Did her eyes run over too? Pandarus, and Hector laughed. Cressida, and what was all his laughing? Pandarus. Mary at the white hair that Helen spied on Troilus' chin. Cressida. And had it been a green hair, I should have laughed too. Pandarus. They laughed not so much at the hair as at his pretty answer. Cressida. What was his answer? Pandarus. Quoth she, here's but 52 hairs on your chin, and one of them is white. Cressida. This is her question. Pandarus. That's true, I make no question of that. 52 hairs, quoth he, and one white. That white hair is of my father, and all the rest are his sons. Jupiter, quoth she, which of these hairs is Paris, my husband? The forked one, quoth he, plucked out and give it to him. There was such laughing, and Helen so blushed, and Paris so chaffed, and all the rest so laughed that it passed. Cressida. So let it now, for it has been a great while going by. Who be texting? Why you be texting? I'm live streaming. Okay. Cressida, so let it now, for it has been a great while going by. Pandarus. What, cousin? I told you a thing yesterday. Think on it. Cressida. I do. Pandarus. I'll be sworn 'tis true. He'll weep you and 'twere a man born in April. Sound a retreat. Like, retreat! That's Cressida. And I'll spring up in his tears, and 'twere nestle against May. Pandarus. Hark! They are coming from the field. Shall we stand up here and see them as they pass toward Ilium? Good niece, do, sweet niece Cressida. Cressida. At your pleasure. Pandarus. Oh yeah, and Pandarus is her uncle, apparently. So, but is it? I guess it's common back then to like call your nieces and nephews like cousins. I don't know. That's a weird thing I haven't seen. Pandarus. Here's an excellent place. Here we may see most bravely. I'll tell you them all by their names as they pass, but mark Troilus above the rest. Enter Aeneas. Aeneas. And pass over the stage. Cressida. Speak not too loud. Pandarus. That's Aeneas. Is not that a brave man? He is one of the flowers of Troy, I can tell you. But mark Troilus. You shall see anon. Cressida. Who's that? Enter Antenor, and pass over the stage. Pandarus. That's an Antenor. He has a shrewd wit, I can tell you, and he's a good man enough. And he's a man good enough. He's one of 1,000 judgments in Troy, whosoever, and a proper man of person. When Troilus comes, I'll show you Troilus anon. If he see me, you shall see him nod at me. Cressida. Will he give you a nod? Pandarus. You shall see. Cressida. If he do, the rich shall have more. Enter Hector, and pass over the stage. Pandarus. That's Hector. That, look you, that. There's a fellow. Go thy way, Hector. There's a brave man, niece. Oh, brave Hector. Look how he looks. There's a countenance. Is it not a brave man? Cressida. Oh, brave man. Is it not? Pandarus. Is it not? It does a man's heart good. Look you what hacks on his helmet. Look you yonder, do you see? Look you there. There's no jesting. There's laying on. Take it off. Who will, as they say, there be hacks. Cressida. But be those with swords. Enter Paris, and pass over the stage. Pandarus. Swords. Wait, how's he there? He just got hurt. What? They said Paris in the last one. I could have sworn they said Paris. Okay. I know they did. But I just want to go over the list of characters again, just for my sake. Oh, jeez, I forgot I had some. So they're having characters right now pass over their heads, I guess, because it looks like they're under something. So just to recap. So you have Aeneas, pass over first. Aeneas is the Trojan warrior and herald. Alright? He's a Trojan commander. Enter Antenor. Antenor is also a Trojan commander. He's a captured Trojan warrior exchanged for Cressida. Oh, jeez. So Cressida is given up to save this Antenor person. Alright, and then you have Hector come in, who is Hector, Priam's oldest son, major Trojan warrior. So he's a major. Did they have him twice? No, they did not have him twice. Alright. And then you have Enter Paris, again, who's supposed to be injured of some sort. But I guess he's okay. In some way, I guess. I don't know. Paris, abductor of Helen. So he abducts Helen later, who was apparently in love with Troilus. Bum, bum, bum. And then you have Helenus. Oh, we haven't gone to Helenus yet. Okay, let's read this real quick. Pandora, so be those with salt. Is it not? Does a man goes hot? Look you at what hacks on his helmet. Look yonder, do you see? Look you there. There's no jesting, there's laying on. Take it off, who will, as they say, there be hacks. Be those with swords. Enter Paris, and pass over the stage. Swords, anything he cares not, and devil come to him, it's all one. By God's lid, it does one's heart good. Yonder comes Paris. Look ye yonder, niece. Is not a gallant man too, is not. Why, this is brave now. Who said he came hurt home today? He's not hurt. See? Like, he was a brave man who said he came home hurt today. Someone said this. You said this. And then he's not hurt. What? Why, this will do Helen's heart good now, huh? So, would I could see Troilus now, you shall see Troilus anon. Who's that? Enter Helenus, who is a warrior priest. Ooh, fancy. Pandora, that's Helenus. I marvel what Troilus is. That's Helenus. I think he went not forth today. That's Helenus. Cressida, can Helenus fight, uncle? He's like said like minimal about Helenus. Can Helenus fight, uncle? Pandora, Helenus? No. Yes, he'll fight indifferent. Well, I marvel what Troilus is. Hark, do you not hear people cry Troilus? Helenus is a priest. What sneaking fellow comes yonder? Enter Troilus, and pass over the stage. So here comes Troilus, who is a lover of Cressida. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Where, yonder? That's Dephobus. That's Dephobus. It's his Troilus. Wait, you call him Dephobus, and then you call him... What? A minor lord meant to swell a scene or two. What? What? That's Dephobus? Troilus? 'Tis Troilus. Oh, so it must have been like... So, sorry to interrupt, but this is a comedy or a tragedy. Oh yeah, no. It's supposed to be a comedy. Apparently, according to my professor, it's like one of his favorite comedies here. So there's like a lot of just like funny little tidbits here and there. So in the beginning, yeah, no, it's okay. So I'll give you a run through because I wasn't sure like who was here. Okay. So in the beginning, you have Troilus and Pandarus talking, which is this person who is the uncle of Cressida, apparently, and whatchamacallit. They are just talking. I could just go over it again. I didn't really retain much of that, honestly. It was like hard. It was a bit hard to follow. Like, okay, so in the beginning you have a prologue stating like what's going on, like maybe like a bit of a war going on right now, and ask you to like observe like the relationships and everything, and it also kind of links them together with like the gods' relationships in some way. That's why I'm thinking it's alluding to, but it's kind of hard to really say whatchamacallit. And then you have Pandarus talking with Troilus in the next scene, and I think they're like in the war zone because like right now they're just hiding under. It seems like they're hiding under like something to be able to like see them go by, and while they're fighting and everything, because like there's alarms going off and everything. But Troilus is like having like the situation where he's like in love and he doesn't like know how to really describe it. But then like Pandarus tells him to be patient. It's like much like baking a cake apparently. Where like you have to make sure like everything's done correctly, but you also have to make sure you wait as well. So if whenever you have a cake and bring it right out of the oven, it's gonna be really hot. You don't just like eat the cake immediately. You gotta wait, right? So now we're going into this part where you have Cressida first talking with her. It says like her man,
but in the characters list, it's Cressida and Troilus that are together. So let's go see what Alexander is again, because that's a bit weird. Who are you, Alexander? Cressida's servant. Oh! Okay, that makes more sense than what it was I was alluding to originally, because, like, yes, amazing relationship. Yes, 10 out of 10 relationship advice, yes. But, yeah, so Alexander is Cressida's servant. It looked weird. It literally just said Cressida's man. So I'm like thinking, oh, Cressida's man, you know? It's like, oh. But anyway, so you have her and Alexander at the beginning, and then you have Pandros walk in, which is her uncle, and they're talking now about somewhat about the war, but also just about, like, let's see. They're also talking about Troilus and Hector and what the differences are between them, and like Troilus apparently loves Helen or something of the sort. And then they're comparing the two men together, and then they compare more men together, and then eventually you get to a scene where like the men are passing over them somehow, and they're like kind of hiding because they don't want to be interfering with the war or anything like that. That's what I'm thinking it's a war that they're in, because like there are alarms and then there's sounds of retreat, and so they're passing over them, and so you have them like going man per man, like comparing them basically. And like over here, do you think professors will watch this? Oh no! No, they will not be able to find me. I don't look anything like my picture nowadays, so you know what? They won't be able to find me, and you know they wouldn't do that. No. 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 Okay. Okay. So you have Hector first enter in and just like, oh, look how he bravely comes in and everything, right? Because Hector is a Trojan War commander. Yeah. No. Where's Hector? I thought you were a Trojan War. No, that's Aeneas and Antenor. Wait, where's Hector? Where'd you go, Hector? I know you're here. Priam's oldest son. Yeah, no, you are a major Trojan War. Ow. Ow. Ah! Why did I do that? That's the corner of the desk. Ah! Oh. Okay. Ah! Okay. Trojan warrior. Yes, Hector is a major Trojan warrior, but he's not a commander. And then you have this guy, Paris, who was apparently in the last scene announced that he was hurt, but apparently he's not hurt. See, they had Antenor and Aeneas. I remembered Aeneas and Antenor are like the commanders. Then you have Hector come in, who is like a major. Alright, and then you have Paris come in, who is also just like up in the Trojan War and everything, who is like some relation with Paris, but he's apparently not really hurt, apparently. And like also it's like the person that's going to be taking Helen in the future, you know, capturing her and everything, you know. And then we have Troilus finally enter in. The Troilus that becomes Cressida's lover in the play somehow, some way. Alright. Well, yonder that's Cephalus, 'tis Troilus as a man needs him. Brave Troilus, a prince of chivalry. Cressida, peace for shame, peace. Wait. And then there's also this person over here, Helenus, who is just like a priest, like a Trojan priest. And he literally just like tells like nothing about this guy. So you have like paragraphs with these other people, right? And then for this Helenus, just like, oh yeah, no, he's just there, you know. He's there. It's like, does he fight? No, of course. Well, okay, guess he'll fight it differently, I guess. But you know, he's not really much. And it's like, oh, finally, you hear people calling for Troilus, right? And so then the Troilus comes in. That's Cephalus. It's his Troilus as a man needs him. Brave Troilus, a prince of chivalry. Cressida, peace for shame, peace. Pandros, pointing towards Troilus, mock him, pointing towards another Trojan warrior, not him. Oh, brave Troilus, look well upon him, niece. Look you how his sword is bloodied, and his helm more hacked than Hector's, and how he looks, and how he goes, oh, admirable youth. He never saw the 23. Go thy way, Troilus, and go thy way. Had I a sister with grace, or daughter of goddess, he should take his choice. O admirable man, Paris,
Paris is dead to him, and I want Helen to change would give money to boot. Enter common soldiers. Passing over the stage. Cressida. Here comes more. Pandarus. Assess fools, dolts, chaff and bran, porridge after meat. I could live and die with eyes of Troilus. Never look, the eagles are gone. Crows and daws. I had rather be such a man as Troilus and Agamemnon and all the Greeks. Cressida. There was among the Greeks Achilles, a better man than Troilus. Pandarus. Achilles, a drayman and a porter, a bear camel. Cressida. Well. Pandarus. Well. Why have you any discretion? Have you any eyes? Do you know what a man is? It's not your birth, beauty, good shape, discourse, manhood, learning, gentleness, virtue, youth, liberality, and so forth, the spice and salt that seasons a man. Cressida. I am mince a man, and then to be baked with no date in the pie, for then a man's date's out. Pandarus. You are such another woman. One knows not what a word of what you lie. Cressida. Upon my back to defend my belly, upon my wit to defend my wiles, upon my secrecy to defend mine honesty, my mask to defend my beauty, and you to defend all these. And all these words I lie at 1,000 watches. Pandarus. Say one of your watches. Cressida. Nay, I'll watch you for that. And that's one of the cheapest of them too. If I cannot ward, though would not have hit, I can watch you telling how I took to blow, unless it swell past hiding, and then it's past watching. Enter Troilus' boy. Pandarus. You are such another. Troilus' boy. Sir, my lord would speak instantly with you. Pandarus. Where? Troilus. At your own house. Pandarus. Good boy, tell him I come. Exit Troilus' boy. I doubt he be hurt. Farewell. Fare ye well, good niece. Cressida. Adieu, uncle. Pandarus. I'll be with you, niece, by and by. Cressida. To bring, uncle. Pandarus. Aye, a token from Troilus. Cressida. By the same token, you are a bard. Exit Pandarus. So then we have a soliloquy for Cressida. Words, vows, gifts, tears, and love's full sacrifice he offers in another's enterprise. But more in Troilus' thousandfold I see than in a glass of Pandarus' sprays may be. Yet hold I off, woman or angels wooing, things are one are done, joy's soul lies in doing, that she beloved knows not that knows not this. Men prize a thing on gain more than it is, that she was never yet that she knew. Love got so sweet as she when desire she did sue. There. Oh, okay. I'll see you later. Therefore, this maxim of love I teach, achievement is command, ungained beseech. That though my heart's contents from love doth bear, nothing of that shall from mine eyes appear. Cressida exits with Alexander attending. So we have Senate, enter Act 1, Scene 3. Senate, enter Agamemnon, Nestor, Ulysses, Diomed, Menelaus, and others. Agamemnon. Princes, what grief hath set the jaundice on your cheeks? I think this is the other side, right? I think so. Like the Greeks people. The Greece. Yeah, these are all the Greeks. So we have the Greeks. Agamemnon. Princes, what grief hath set the jaundice on your cheeks? The ample proposition that hope makes in all the designs begun on earth below, fails in the promised largeness, checks and disasters grow in the veins of actions highest reared, as knots by the conflux of meeting sap, infect the sound pine and diverts his grain, toward and errant, from its course of growth. Nor princes is it matter new to us, that we come short of our suppose so far, that after 7 years' siege yet Troy walls stand, with every action that hath gone before, whereof we have record, trial did draw, bias and throat, not answering the aim, and that embodied figure of the thought, that
the avid surmised shape. Why then, you princes, do you with cheeks abashed behold our works, and think this in shame, which are indeed naught else but to the productive trials of great Jove, and to find persistent constancy in men, the fitness of which metal is not found of fortune's love, for then the bold and coward, the wise and fool, the artist and unread, the hard and soft seem all offended kind. But in the wind and tempest of a frown, distinction with the loud and powerful fan, puffing at all, winnows the light away, and what hath mass of matter by itself, lies rich in virtue and unmingled. Nestor. With due observance of the godly seats, great Agamemnon, Nestor shall apply thy latest words. In the reproof of chance lies true proof of men. The sea being smooth, how many shallow bubble boats dare sail upon her patient breast, making their way with the nobler bulk? But let the Ruffian Boreas once rage, the gentle Thetis, and anon behold the strong ribbed bark through liquids mountains cut, bounding between the two moist elements, like Pyrrhus' horse. Where is then the saucy boat whose weak untimbered sides, but even now corriveled greatness, either to harbor fled, or made or toast for Neptune? Even so doth valor's show and valor's worth divide in storms of fortune. Full in her ray of brightness, the herd hath no more annoyance by the breeze than by the tiger. But when the splitting winds make flexible the knees of knotted oaks, and flies fled under shade, why then the thing of courage, as roused with rage, and rage with doth sympathize, and with an accent turn itself in self-same key, retires the chiding fortune? Ulysses. Agamemnon, thou great commander, nerve and bone of Greece, heart of our numbers, soul and only spirit, in whom the tempers and minds of all should be shut up, hear that Ulysses speaks, besides the applause and approbation to Agamemnon, most mighty for thy place and sway, to Nestor, and thou most reverend for thy stretched out life. I give you both to your speeches, which were such as Agamemnon and the hand of Greece should hold up high in brass, and such again as venerable Nestor, hatched in silver, should be the bond of air, strong as an axle tree, in which the heavens ride, knit all Greeks' ears to the experienced tongue. Yet let it please both. To Agamemnon, thou great, to Nestor, and wise, to hear Ulysses speak. Agamemnon. Speak, Prince of Ithaca, and be it the less expected. That matter needless of importless burden, divide thy lips and we are confident. When rank that there sees opens his majestic jaws, we shall hear music, wit, and oracle. Ulysses. Troy yet upon his bases had been down, and the great Hector's sword lacked the master. But for these instances the specialty of rule hath been neglected, and look how many Grecian tents do stand, hollow up upon this plain, so many hollow factions, when that the general is not like the hive, to whom the foragers shall all repair. What honey is expected, degree being visited, the unworthiest shows as fairly in the mask. The heavens themselves, the planets in the center, often observe degree, priority, and place, in sister course proportion, season, form, office, and custom, in all line of order. And therefore is the glorious planet's soul in noble eminence, and enthroned spirit, amidst the other, who, medicinable eye, corrects the ill aspects of planet's evil, and the post-like commandment of king stands check to good and bad. For when the planets in evil mixture to disorder wander, what plagues and portents, what mutiny, what raging of the sea, shaking of the earth, commotion in the winds, frights, changes, horrors, divert and crack, rend and derexinate, the unity and married calm of saints, quite form the picture. Oh, when degree is shaked, which is ladder to all high designs, the enterprise is sick. How could communities, degrees, and schools, and brotherhoods, and cities, peaceful commerce from dividable shores, the primogenitive and due birth, prerogative of age, crown, scepters, laurels, but by degree stand in an authentic place? Take but the degree away, and tune that string, and hark what discourse follow. Each thing meets in mere oppugency, The bounded waters should lift their bosoms higher than the shores, and make a soft of all the solid globe. Strength should be lord of imbecility, and the rude son should strike his father dead. Both should be right, or rather right and wrong, between whose endless jaw a justice resides. Should lose onions, and so should justice too. Then everything includes self and power, power into will, and will into appetite. An appetite, an universal wolf, so doubly seconded with power and will, must make force an universal prey, and at last eat him up himself. Great Agamemnon, this chaos, when degree suffocates, follows the choking, and this neglection of degree is it that by pace goes backward in the purpose it hath to climb. The general is sustained by him one step below, he by the next, by him beneath. So every step exampled by the first pace that is sick of a superior grows to an envious fever of pale and bloodless emulation. And 'tis this fever that keeps Troy on foot. Not our own sinews to end the tale of length. Troy in our weakness lives, not in our strength. Nestor, most wisely hath Ulysses here discovered the fever whereof all our power is sick. Agamemnon, the nature of sickness found, Ulysses. What is the remedy? Ulysses, the great Achilles, whom opinion crowns, the sinew of beforehand of our hosts, having his ear full of his airy fame, grows dainty of his worth, and in his tent lies mocking our design. With him Patroclus, upon a lazy bed the livelong day, breaks scurril jest, and with ridiculous and awkward action, which slanderer he imitation calls, he pageants us. Sometimes, great Agamemnon, thy topless reputation he puts on, and, like a strutting player, whose conceit lies in the hamstring, and doth think it rich to hear the wooden dialogue and sound twixt his stretched footing and scapulage, such to be pitied and overwested of seeming he acts in greatness in, and when he speaks 'tis like a chime amending with terms unsquared, which from tongue of roaring typhoon dropped would seem hyperboles. At this busty stuff, the large Achilles on his pressed bed lolling, from his deep chest laughs loud applause, cries, Excellent! 'Tis Agamemnon, just. Now play me Nestor, hum and stroke thy beard, as he, being dressed in some oration, that done as near as extreme as ends, a parallels as like a Vulcan and his wife. Yet God Achilles still cries, Excellent 'tis Nestor right. Now play him me, Patroclus, arming to answer the night alarm. Then, forsooth, the faint defects of age must be the scene of mirth, to cough and spit, and with the palsy fumbling on his gorget, shake in and out rivet, and at this sport Sir Valor dies, cries, Oh, enough, Patroclus! Go give me ribs of steel, I shall split all in pleasure of my spleen. And in this fashion all our abilities, gifts, nature, shapes, several and generals of grace exact, achievements, plots, orders, preventions, excitements in the field of speech or for truce, success or loss, what is or what is not, serves as stuff or for these two to make paradoxes. Nestor, and the imitation of these twain, who, as Ulysses say, opinions crown, with an imperial voice, many are infect, and Ajax is a grown self-willed, and bears his head in such a rein, and full as proud in place as broad Achilles, and keeps his tent like him, makes facetious beats, rails on our state of war, bold as an oracle, and sets their seats, a slave whose gall coins slander like a mint, to match us in the comparisons with dirt, to weaken and discredit our exposure, how ranks soever rounded in with danger. Ulysses, they tax our policy and call it cowardice, count wisdom as no member of the war, forestall prescience, and esteem no act but that of the hand. The still mental parts that do contrive how many hands shall strike when the fitness calls them on, and know by measure of their observant toil to their servant's enemy's weight. Why, this hath not a finger's dignity. They call this bed work mappery, closet war, so that the ram that batters down the wall, for the great swing and rudeness of his pose they place before his hand that made the engine, or to those that with the fineness of his souls by reason guide his execution. Nestor, let this be granted, and Achilles' horse makes Hermione Thetis' son. Tucket. Tucket? Tucket? Oh, like a trumpet. Tucket's is trumpet? Really? Really? No, it's Tucket. Is Tucket a trumpet? Like, what trumpet? Look, Melanus. Melanus from Troy. Enter an Aeneas and trumpeter. Or Tucketer, I guess. Agamemnon. What would you for our tent? Aeneas. Is the great Agamemnon's tent, I pray you. Agamemnon. Even this. Aeneas. May one that is herald and a prince do a fair message to his kingly ears. Agamemnon. With surety strong the Achilles' arm for all the Greekish heads, which with one voice call Agamemnon and head in general. Aeneas. Bear leave in large security. How may a stranger to those most imperial looks know them from eyes of other mortals? Agamemnon. How? Aeneas. I ask that I may waken reverence, and on the cheek be ready for the blush modest of morning when she coldly eyes, and the youthful Phobus, which is that god in office guiding men, which is the high and mighty Agamemnon. This Trojan scorns us, or the men of Troy have sent on his quarters. Aeneas. Quarters are free as the debonair, unarmed as bending angels, that are fair in peace. But when they would seem soldiers, they all have galls, good arms, good strong joints, true swords, and Jove's accord. Nothing so full of heart but peace. Aeneas. Peace, Trojan, lay thy finger on thy lips. The worthiness of praise disdains his worth, if that he, praise, himself bring the praise forth. But what the repining enemy commends, that the breath fame blows, that praise so pure transcends. Agamemnon. Sir, you of Troy call yourself Aeneas. Aeneas. Aye, Greek, that is my name. Agamemnon. What's your affair, pray you? Aeneas. Sir, pardon, 'tis for Agamemnon's ears. Agamemnon. He hears aught privately that comes from Troy. Aeneas. Nor I from Troy come not to whisper to him. I bring a trumpet to wake his ear, to set his sense on the attentive bent, and then to speak. Agamemnon. Speak frankly as the wind. It is not Agamemnon's sleeping hour, that thou shalt know. Trojan, he is awake. He tells thee so himself. Aeneas. Trumpet, blow loud. Send thy brass voice through all these lazy tents, and every Greek of metal let him know what Troy means fairly shall be spoke aloud. We have great Agamemnon here in Troy, a prince called Hector, Priam is his father, who in this dull and long continued truce is rusty grown. He bade me with the trumpet, and to this purpose speaks. Kings, princes, lords, if there be one amongst the fairest of Greece that holds his honor higher than his ease, that seeks his praise more than he fears his peril, that knows his valor and knows not his fear, that loves his mistress more than a confession, with a true and vows to her own lips he loves, and dare vow her beauty and her worth in other arms than hers, to him this challenge Hector, in view of Trojans and Greeks, shall make it good, or do his best to do it. He hath a lady wiser, fairer, truer than ever Greek can compass in his arms, and will tomorrow with his trumpet call, midway between your tents and walls of Troy, to rouse a Grecian that is true in love. If any come, Hector shall honor him. If none, he'll stay at Troy when he retires. The Trician dames are son, but and not worth a splint of her lance, even so much. Agamemnon. This shall be told our lovers, Lord Aeneas. If none of them shall have a soul of such kind, we left them all at home. But we are soldiers, and may that soldier a mere recreant prove that means not, hath not, or is not in love. If then one is, or hath means to be, that one meets Hector, if none else I'll be he. Nestor to Aeneas. Tell of Nestor, when that was a man when Hector's grandsire sucked. He is old now, but if there not be in our Grecian mould one nobleman that hath one spark of fire to answer for his love. Tell him come from me. Tell him from me. I'll hide myself a beard in a gold beaver, and in my vantbrace put his withered brawn, and meeting him, will tell him that my lady was fairer than his grandnam, and as chaste as may be in the world his youth in flood. I'll prong this truth in my 3 drops of blood. Aeneas. Now heavens forbid such scarcity of youth. Ulysses. Amen. Agamemnon. Fair Lord Aeneas, let me touch your hand. To our pavilion shall I lead you first. Achilles shall have his word of his tent, so shall each lord of Greece from tent to tent. Yourself shall feast with us before you go, and find the welcome of a noble foe. Exit all of them except for Ulysses and Nestor. Ulysses. Nestor. Nestor. What says Ulysses? Ulysses. I have young conception in my brain. Be you my time to bring it into some shape. Nestor. What is it? Ulysses. This 'tis. Blunt wedges revive hard knots, a seated pride that hath to his maturity blown up. In rank Achilles must or now be cropped, or shedding, breed a nursery of like eagle, to overbulk us all. Nestor. We and her? How? Well, and how? Ulysses. This challenge that gallant Hector sends, however it's spread in general name, relates to in purposely only to Achilles. Nestor. The purpose is perspicuous, even as substance, whose grossness will the character sum up, and the publication make no stain. But that Achilles, were his brain as barren as banks as Libya, though Apollo knows 'tis dry enough, will with great speed judgment, aye, with celerity, find Hector's purpose pointing on him. Ulysses. And wake him to the answer, think you? Nestor. Yes, 'tis most meet. Who may you else suppose that can from Hector bring his honour off, if not Achilles? Thought be a sport for combat, yet in his trial much opinions dwell. For here the Trojans taste our dearest repute, with theirs finest palate, and trust to me, Ulysses' our imputation shall be oddly poised in this wild action, for his success, although particular, shall give scantling of good or bad unto the general, and in such indexes, although small pricks to the subsequent volumes, there is seen the baby figure of a giant mass, of things to come at large. It is supposed that he meets Hector issues from our choice, and choice, being mutual act of all souls, makes merit her elections and doth boil, as 'twere from forth us all a man distilled, out of our virtue whose miscarrying, what heart from hence receives the conquering pot, to seal a strong opinion to themselves, which entertain limbs are in its instruments in no less working than our swords and bows, directed by the limbs. Ulysses. Give pardon to my speech. Therefore 'tis meet Achilles meets not Hector. Let us, like merchants, show our foulest wares, and think perchance they'll sell. If not, the lustre of the better yet shall show the better. Do not consent that ever Hector and Achilles meet, for both our honour and our shame in this are dogged with 2 strange followers. Nestor. I see them now with my own eyes. What are they? Ulysses. What glory our Achilles shares from Hector, were he not proud we all should wear him with him. But he already is too insolent, and we would better parch in our fixed sun, than in the pride of salt scorn of his eyes, should he scape Hector fair. If he were foiled, why then did our main opinion crush, in the taint of our best men, no make a lottery, and by device let Lockish Ajax draw, the sort of fight with Hector among ourselves. Give him allowance as a worthier man for that vil physic, the great Myrmidon, who boils in loud applause, and make him fall his crest that prouder than blue iris bends. If the dual brainless Ajax comes safe off, we'll dress him up in voices. If he fail, yet go we under our opinion still, that we have better men. But hit or miss, hit or miss, I guess I never miss. But hit or miss, our project's life this shape of sense assumes. Ajax employed plucks down our Achilles' pumps. Nestor. Now, Ulysses, I begin to relish thy advice, and I will give a taste of it forthwith. To Agamemnon, go eat him straight. 2 curs shall tame each other, pride alone must tear the mastiffs on as for their bone. And they both exit. Act 2, Scene 1. Enter Ajax and their steeds. Let's go see who these people are again, because obviously I don't know all these people still. Ajax and Thersites. Let's see, where are you, Ajax? Ajax! Ajax considers himself equal to Achilles. And then Thersites is right here. A satirical rogue, a gesture fool to both Achilles and Ajax. So we have Thersites, which is a clown, a fool, however you please, and Ajax considers him an equal of Achilles. I keep wanting to say Achilles. Achilles. Okay. Ajax, Achilles, Thersites, clown, fool. Alright. Ajax, Thersites, Agamemnon, how if he had boils all over generally? Ajax, Thersites, and those boils did run, say so. Did not the general run? Would not the Bachikor? Ajax, dog. Thersites, then there he would come some matter from him. I see none now. Ajax, thou wolf's son, canst thou not hear? Feel then, strikes. Thersites, a plague of griefs upon thee, thou mongrel beef-witted lord. Ajax, speak then, you wineless leaven. Speak, I will beat thee into handsomeness. Thersites, I shall sooner rail thee into wit and holiness, but I think thy horse will sooner con an oration than thou learn a prayer without book. Thou canst strike, canst thou? A red murrain of thy jade's tricks. Ajax, toadstool, learn me the proclamation. Thersites, dost thou think I have no sense? Thou strikest me thus. Ajax, the proclamation. Thersites, thou art proclaimed a fool, I think. Ajax, do not, porcupine, do not, my fingers itch. Thersites, I would thou didst itch from head to foot. I had a scratching of thee, I would make thee the loathsomest scab in Greece. Ajax, I say the proclamation. Thersites, thou grumblest and railest every hour on Achilles, and thou art as full of envy as his greatness, as Cerberus, as at Proserpina's beauty, aye, that thou balkest at him. Ajax, mistress, Thersites. Thersites, thou shouldst strike him. Ajax, Kobluff. Thersites, he would pun into three shivers, and thee into shivers with his fist, as a sailor breaks a biscuit. Ajax, you whoreson cur. Thersites, do. Ajax, thou stool for a witch. Thersites, I do, thou sodden-witted lord, thou hast no more brain than I have in mine elbows, and as Esneco may tutor thee. Thou scurvy valiant donkey, thou art here but to thresh Trojans, and thou art bought and sold among those of any wit, like a barbarian slave. If thou used to beat me, I would begin at thy heel, and tell what thou art by inches, thou thing of no bowels, thou. Ooh. Consider him like, Achilles is like, his heel is the thing that comes like, and then it's like, I will begin at thy heel, ha ha! It's like, it's like he does it. Ajax, you dog. Thersites, you scurvy lord. Scurvy lord, you. Ajax, you cur. Thersites, Mars his idiot do, rudeness do, camel do. Enter Achilles and Patroclus. Patroclus, who are you again? Why are you again? Patroclus is Achilles' Ingle Acatamite. Ingle. Like angel? But Ingle? What's a catamite? Let's see, catamite. Why aren't you looking? Okay. Catamite. Let's look what the catamite is. I'm surprised it doesn't really have that much on it. A boy. Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Achilles, a famous hero of Iliad, commander of Myrmidons. Okay. Enter Achilles and Patroclus. Achilles, why? How now, Ajax? Wherefore do you do this? How now, Thersites? What's the matter, man? Thersites, you see him there, do you? Achilles, aye, what's the matter? Thersites, nay, look upon him. Achilles, so what? I do. What's the matter? Thersites, nay, but regard him well. Achilles, well, I do so. Thersites, but yet you look not well upon him, for whomsoever you take him to be, he's Ajax. Achilles, I know that fool. Thersites, aye, but that fool knows not himself. Ajax, therefore I beat thee. Thersites, lo, 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 what modicums of wit he utters! His evasions have ears thus long, I have bobbed his brain more than he has beat my bones. I will buy 9 sparrows for a penny, and his pure matter is not worth the 9th part of a sparrow. This Lord Achilles, Ajax, has wears wits in his belly, and his guts in his head. I'll tell you what I say of him. Uh-oh. See, he's got everything like upside down. Achilles, what? Thersites, I say this Ajax, Achilles, nay, good Ajax. Thersites, has not so much wit. Achilles, nay, I must hold you. Thersites, as will stop the eye of Helen's needle, for whom he comes to fight. Achilles, peaceful. Thersites, I would have peace and quietness, but the fool will not. He there, that he, look you there. Ajax, oh, thou damned cur, Achilles, will you set your wit to fools? Thersites, no, I want you, for fools will shame it. Patroclus, good words, Thersites. Achilles, what's the quarrel? Ajax, I bade the vile owl learn me the tenor of the proclamation, and he rails upon me. Thersites, I serve thee not. Ajax, well, go to. Thersites, I serve here voluntarily. Achilles, your last service was sufferance. 'Twas not voluntary. No man is being voluntary. Ajax was here with the voluntary, and you as under an impress. Thersites, even so, a great deal of your wit too lies in sinews, or else there be liars. Hector shall have a great catch if he knocked out either your brains, like as he were as good crack a fusty nut, with no kernel. Achilles, what, with me too, Thersites? Thersites, there's Ulysses and old Nestor, whose wit and motley ere their grandsires has on nails on their toes. You look like draft oxen, and make you plow up the water. Achilles, what? Thersites, yes, good sooth, to Achilles, to Ajax, I shall cut your tongue. Thersites, 'tis no matter, I shall speak as much as thou afterward. Patroclus, no more words, Thersites, peace. Thersites, I will hold my peace when Achilles' brooch bids me. Shall I? Achilles, there's for you, Patroclus. Thersites, I will see you hang like hot coals ere I come any more to your tents. I will keep where there is wit stirring, and lead the faction of fools. Exit. Dang, man. Patroclus, a good riddance. Achilles, to Ajax, marry, this, sir, is proclaimed that through all our host, that Hector by a 5th hour of the sun will with a trumpet twixt our tents and Troy tomorrow morning call some knights to arms that hath a stomach, and that such one that dare maintain I know not what his trash. Very well. Ajax, very well. Who shall answer him? Achilles, I know not. 'Tis put to a lottery. Otherwise he knew this man. Ajax, oh, meaning you, I will go learn more of it. Don't Achilles. Achilles. So you have Priam, Hector, Troilus, Paris, and Helenus. So all these are people of the war except for Priam. Who are you, Priam? Why are you Priam? Priam is a king of Troy. So he's a king here. And then we have like all these people over here, just like we have the major, then we have the commanders, and we have Paris and Troilus and Helenus, who is the priest guy. Yeah, okay. Act 2, Scene 2. Priam. After so many hours lies speeches spent, thus once again says Nestor from the Greeks, deliver Helen and all damage else, as honor, lost time, travel, expense, wounds, friends, and what else dear expensive what that is consumed in hardness of war, shall be struck off. Hector, what say to you? You to it. So they want this Helen person. They want Helen. Why do they want Helen's wife, now living in the Trojan Paris? Oh, she's living over here, and they want her back. Hector, though no man less fears the Greeks than I, as far as the touches of my particular yet dread Priam, there is no lady of more softer bowels, more spongy to suck with a sense of fear, more ready to cry out, who knows what follows, than Hector is. The wound of peace is surgery. Surgery is secure, but modest doubt is called the beacon of the wise, the tent that searches to the bottom of the worst. Let Helen go. Since the first sword was drawn about this question, every tied soul amongst many thousand times hath been as dear as Helen. I mean of ours, if we have lost so many tenths of ours, to God a thing not ours, nor worth to us, had to our name. The value of 110. What merits in the reason which denies the yielding of up? Troilus. Fie, my brother. Weigh you the worth and honour of a king, so great as our dread father, in a scale of common ounces? Will you with counter sum the past proportion of his infinite, and buckle in a waist of most fathomless, with spans and inches so diminutive as views and reasons? Fie, for godly shame. Helenus. No marvel, though you bite so sharp at reasons. You are empty of them. Should not our father bear the great sway of his affairs with reasons, because your speech hath none that tells him so? Troilus. You are for dreams and slumbers, brother priest, and for your gloves with reason. Here are your reasons. You know what enemy intends you harm. You know what sore employs is perilous, and flies the object of all harm who marvels when. Then, when Helenus beholds a Grecian and his sword, if he do set the very wings of reason to his heels, and fly like chidden. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I need to go let them in. Alright, I'm back. Back. Okay, let's see. So, you are for germs and slumbers, brother priest. Your fur and gloves with reason. Here are your reasons. You know an enemy intends you harm. You know a sword employed is perilous. And reason flies object of all harm. Who marvels then, when Helenus beholds a Grecian and a sword, if he do set the very wings of reason to his heels, and fly like chidden Mercury from Jove, or like a star dissolved? Nay, if we talk of reason, let's shut our gaze and sleep. Manhood and honor should have a hare heart. Would they but fat their thoughts with this crammed reason and respect, make livers pale and lustroushood deject. Hector. Brother, she is not worth what she does cost a holding. Troilus. What ought but as 'tis valued? Hector. But value dwells not in particular will, it holds his estimate and dignity as well wherein 'tis precious of itself as in the prizer. 'Tis mad idolatry to make the service greater than the god, and the will dotes and is inclinable to what infectiously infects, with some image of the infected merit. Troilus. I take her today a wife, and my election is led on in the conduct of my will enkindled by mine eyes and ears. Two traded pilots twixt the dangerous shores of will and judgment. How may I avoid, although my will dictates why I elected, the wife I chose? There can be no evasion to blench from this and to stand firm by my honor.
We turn not back to silks upon the merchant, when we have spoiled them, nor the remainder of viands we did not throw in unrespected same. Because we now are full, it was thought meet Paris should do some vengeance on the Greeks. Your breath is full, consent bellied with sails. The seas and winds of old wranglers took a truce and did him service. He touched the ports desired, and for an old aunt from whom the Greeks held captive, he brought a Grecian queen, whose youth and freshness winkles Apollo's, and makes sail the morning. Why keep we her? The Grecians keep our aunt. Is she worth keeping? Why, she is a pearl, whose price hath launched above 1,000 ships, and turned crown to king's merchants. If you'll vouch 'twas wisdom, Paris went, as you must needs, for you all cried, Go, go. If you'll confess, her brought home noble prize, as you must needs, for all you clapped your hands and cried, Inestimable! Why do you now the issue of prosper wisdom's rate, and do a deed that fortune never did, beggar the estimation at which you prize, richer than sea and land? O theft most base, that we have stolen what we did fear to keep, but thieves unworthy of such a thing is so stolen that in their country did them the disgrace, we fear to warrant in our native place. This is Hector, Troilus. This is Troilus. He is taking a wife's day. Yeah, that's Helen, right? Yeah. Enter Cassandra with her hair about her ears. And Cassandra is Trojan woman, Priam's daughter. So, sister to Hector, Paris. Oh, jeez, Priam has a lot of. Priam to Hector, Paris, Deiphobus, Helenus. Are these all his sons? Thing. Troilus and Margolone. Oh, yeah. And that's his sister. Cressida, Calchas' daughter. Beloved of Troilus, Pandarus' niece. Oh, interesting. Anyway. Enter Cassandra with her hair about her ears. Cassandra, cry, Trojans, cry! Priam, what noise? What shriek is this? Troilus, 'tis our mad sister. I do know her voice. Cassandra, cry, Trojans! Hector, it is Cassandra. Cassandra, cry, Trojans, cry! Lend me 10,000 eyes, and I will fill them with prophetic tears. Hector, peace, sister, peace. Wait, she? Cassandra's the one that can sell stories, right? And then she knows what the future is, but then they don't believe, right? Yeah, damned by Apollo to clearly see the future, but whose forecasts are never to be believed. Jeez. It's she knows what's to come, and yet no one's going to believe her because she's mad. And Apollo made her this way. Yikes. Virgins and boys, mid-age and wrinkled and old, soft infancy that nothing but can cry. Add to my clamor, let us pay betimes and loyalty that mass of moan to come. Cry, Trojans, cry, wax your eyes with tears. Troy must not be, or nor goodly Ilium stand. Our firebrand brother Paris burns Saul. Cry, Trojans, cry, Helen in a woe. Cry, cry, Troy burns, or else let Helen go. Yikes. Jeez, she knows that Troy is gonna be burning, which I think is just the Trojan people in general. They're gonna die unless they let Helen go back. So we have exit. So Cassandra exits. Exits. Hector, now youthful Troilus, do not these high strains of divination in your sister work some touches of remorse? Or is your blood so madly hot that no discourse of reason, nor fear of bad success and bad cause, can qualify the same? Troilus, why, brother Hector, we may not think of justice in each act, such and no other than even doth form it, nor once eject the courage of our minds, because Cassandra's mad. Obviously she's mad.
her brain-sick raptures cannot dissate the goodness of a quarrel, which hath our several honours all engaged. To make it gracious, for my private part, I am no more touched than all Priam's sons, and Jove forbade there should be done amongst us such things as might offend the weakest spleen, to fight for maintain. Paris. Else might the world convince of levity, as well as my undertakings of your counsels, but I test the gods you have full consent. Gave wings to my propension, and cut off all fears attending on so dire a project. For what, alas, can these my single arms, what propagations one man's valour, to stand and push the enmity of those his quarrel would excite? Yet I protest, were I alone to pass difficulties, and had ample power as I have will, Paris should never have retracted what he hath done, nor faith in the pursuit. Huh? Paris should never retract. You're speaking, Paris. You're speaking about yourself in third person. Paris should never retract what he had done, nor faint in the pursuit. Oh, hi Maggie. How you doing? We're reading Troilus and Cressida. Bum bum bum. So, right now we're speaking with the Trojans right now, who have like Troilus and Cressida and all that stuff. We were just speaking with the Greeks right now to like see what they're planning and everything, and they're going to be hatching a plan against the Trojans that will be in their own favor. And before that, we were talking about like Troilus like having a love and like thinking about loving Helen and everything, but not really being sure about it, and just like the uncle of Cressida is telling him to be patient. And my feeling in life thinks like, oh no, I hope you feel better. Make sure to take medicine. Yes, take medicine. Have a heating pad on you. If you don't got a heating pad, then put rice in a long sock. Put it in the microwave. Take it out of the microwave. Put it on your stomach. That should help. Let's see. Honey and lemon is good too. That's good for your stomach as well. Yeah, just take it easy. I know. It goes in there, right? It goes in the mouth. I mean, like some of them don't, but I mean I'm pretty sure you're not taking that kind of medicine, okay? You're taking the one you put in your mouth, so somehow it's going in there. Either you're drinking it or you're eating it or just taking it. Just take the medicine, okay. So yeah, so then we had them talking, and then Cressida is also talking with him, with her uncle, and then they get to see like, all the Trojan warriors and everything. And after that, there's like Troilus is like so like great and fantastic. Out of all like the other Trojan warriors, it's like Hector you have like all big and brave and everything, but Troilus is the one to look at apparently. And I think like Pandarus is like kind of like wanting to ship them together. She's like, how about you just like take a longer look at Troilus? I mean, sure he is like thinking about marrying Helen of all people, but you know what? How about you just try to look at him more? And then like Cressida like makes her own little soliloquy about this kind of thing about love and everything. And then whatchamacallit? Then you have the Greeks talking and everything. Like you have the Greeks talking and everything, and then a Trojan guy comes in to be able to like some make a peace of some sort, I guess. And like they put on a little bet to where like